Welcome to episode 38 of FTB Infinity Evolved Expert Mode. And what have we been doing? Well, I've not been doing much. I've been doing a lot of processing. A few hours today, in fact. So, just to briefly cover that, let's just pop down to the reactor room. U center. And you will see, better cover that up. You will see that I've got more of these. And remember what I said last episode about these being really expensive? Well, they are, but they don't get used up. So I'm going to be using that RTG for other uses later. So in the meantime, it may as well provide us power. And that's about big reactors, by the way. It's a bit of a clue. Each of those can be made into a fuel rod. So we're now up to about a stack and a half of iridium. And you'll see a new machine next to here. I did mention this, I just didn't craft it on camera. I crafted it off camera because I then set it off making stuff. This is the molecular transformer. And as you'll see in my inventory, I've already got 11 sonarium, which I'm going to put in here. Going to need about 20 to get the next item. If we have a look at just what sonarium makes, it makes a few different things, which are used to make things like this, the quantum core. The quantum core, in turn, makes our first ME controller or a solar panel. ME controller, solar panel. Which do you think I'm going to choose? I'm hoping not to have to make one of these as well, the energy acceptor. If I need to, then I need to. I can't remember whether there's any way of getting power into AE2 without the energy acceptor. Feel free to comment below if you think there is, because I don't want to make two of those quantum cores. This system, now that I've actually added these power, all these are full, so each of these are 32 EU per tick, so, you know, we're getting 128. In addition to the reactor, which is 420, so, you know, we're 500 to getting towards 600. Each of these are now running faster, I think, ish. Yeah. Ish, and they did use all my excess of scrap, so I guess it's a balance between the power created by these and the power used by this thing. This thing needs 9 million EU to change one glowstone block to one sonarium. You can do it by using just glowstone. That'll change it to a sonarium piece if you want sonarium pieces. I don't. I just want the blocks. Well, the piece. Just sonarium. That will do just fine. And I did mention at the end of the last episode I was going to do the processing. I did that. Compared to this side, this is very, very straightforward. We just output all of our spent fuel rods, which goes into a thermal centrifuge, which is separate to the other one. Got a few overclocker upgrades. Don't really need those, I guess. That can be done individually. That outputs a tiny pile of plutonium, goes into cyclic assembler, goes into full-size plutonium, and that's why I've been getting those RTG pellets, because this plutonium is helping. I did also scan plutonium, and it isn't too bad. Let's just have a quick look. Yeah, plutonium is 291, so if I wanted to expand this power fairly quickly and sacrifice iridium for that, then, you know, instead of the RTG fuel is 933, actually, I may as well just make the RTG, because it's just 3 times that, and then the only other thing you need to convert into RTG is 6 dense iron, and iron is so plentiful, so I could just change it to making pellets of RTG fuel, but that's like 6 buckets of EU matter for 32 EU per tick, so yeah, I don't have huge amounts of EU, it's a huge amount of EU spare yet, so I think I'll wait until after I get my first ME controller. What do you guys think? I did start up some other stuff as well. I was getting a bit annoyed with this being so slow, so I thought, hey, isn't there a way to do this using IC2? I made the way to do it using IC2. It's just as slow. And you can't put overclocker upgrades in here. I nearly cried when I found out I couldn't do that. Ejector upgrades, redstone signal inverter, pulling upgrade. That's it. So, yeah, that's and you can't put blocks in either. I tried to put blocks in. You can't get around it that way. Why am I doing that? Well, because the big reactors require an absolutely huge amount of iron. So yeah, I'm going to leave that alone for now. I'm going to wait until my iron builds up. I need about, sorry, it's metal steel. Oh, did I say iron? No, it needs steel. Huge amounts of steel. I need about 200 more. I will actually show you where I'm building it, just so if you're following along, you'll know to be able to do this yourself, and that's why this hole was here. So here's where my big reactor is, and I've started building it. There's no active components here yet. I've put a few in here, but we're waiting for that. This is 7 by 7 by 7. I know I said I was going to do 7 by 7 by 3 or something like that, but I started building and I thought, it's not going to be that much of an improvement to do a small, big reactor, medium reactor, instead of our reactors over there, so why don't I go jump a bit forward? So all that's needed, I know I don't need these reactor glasses, we could just go with reactor casings, but the glass just needs hardened glass with some reactor casings to make the reactor glass. So I'm not limited by the glass, I'm limited by the stuff that needed made. Reactor casing, and reactor casing is steel. So maybe later this episode, depends how much time I have between clips, maybe next, but that should be a good one. So what I'll probably do is, once I get this up and running, I may funnel that into either this area to really supercharge this production of UU matter, or I just may send that reactor to send its output to this area and then have like a pure big reactor powering the rest of the base. What do you think? There are other alternatives, of course. We could use many of the other generators, but yeah, going from IC2 nuclear to big reactors seems like a decent thing to do because they are dependent on each other. I am, however, also running short of rubber, almost permanently, in fact. And normally I would use the forestry tree farms? Yeah, the tree farms anyway, that you would use to make rubber as a manual tree farm with a circuit, soldering iron, stuff like that. I want something automatic out of those, and I did see something on another video, I think it was on a Hypnotized's videos, that with this, because I was expecting to need to use the dolly, and the dolly doesn't work. I was hoping I could just move these blocks, but no, I can't do that with the dolly. However, with G on this, I can move these. It's a bit unstable, I will admit, but I could move them elsewhere and place them. However, you'll see that spot moved, and it didn't really move as much as you might think. If you take a look, it's facing this direction. So if I change this, you'll see how it's facing me, but as soon as I put it back down again, it's going to face this original direction, and I don't know how to turn it. If there's any way to turn this, again, let me know in the comments. I have no idea. However, I can take this apart and then destroy all the other blocks and make a wall, which will be easier. But there is a machine that will do this automatically. And again, it's MFR instead of using forestry. I've done forestry tree farms on at least 2 of my previous series because I don't want to do it again. I don't like them. I'm sorry, I just don't like having to use apatite and that whole loop to create them. They're okay, but we can do better. So we can make a fruit picker, and I wonder if I've got enough spare to order a Tesseract. No, I don't, clearly. Oh, by the way, you probably see that this UI is much smaller. I took a hint from a couple of commenters. I kind of like the larger UI just because it seems bigger in the videos that I produce, but if you don't mind this size, then I get to use NEI integration. So, for example, if I wanted to do big reactors and make some reactor casings, I can use the usual shift click on here and it will go into here without me doing anything, at which point I can then click this button. It will order the stuff up in a short while, depending how compliant the system is feeling, and yes, I can then make reactor casings. So much faster for me. I'm just a little bit concerned that this might be a bit too small on your screen. Let me know. Again, depends what you guys think, really. So yeah, the fruit picker. So my ideal plan for this is just to place this in front of a bunch of this rubber. I don't particularly care how well it's done, but you know, something like this, and it already did that even without power. Oh, it came with some power. No idea. Oh, well, maybe it was. Ah, yeah, it's because. Oh, that's actually a good idea. Yeah, if you're not following my thought process, I think this is happening because of the wireless RF charger. And I wonder if that will continue to work if I put it down. I don't know. Yeah, well, it could be the wireless RF. It could be because it was in my inventory. And my inventory, I have a jet plate which has a charge mode. You'll see at the top left. And if it's just player's inventory, then I can't get away with that. I'll have to actually run power to it. But yeah, let me go and move these. I'm not sure if I can just make a wall or surround the fruit picker. No, it'll be a range in front of it, so I'll have to make it'll probably be a 5x5. So I'll have to try, and I can't turn them. So I'm going to have to make them face outwards or face inwards. Don't know. I will put that together and come back. So that's all done, and it was my local charger, unfortunately. I had to go and put the stuff over here, and this has reduced all those trees down to a very small number of blocks, and I just get mob drops all over the place. I sometimes have kept the spots on the outside, not always. That one's missing, that one's... Oh, it's on this side. Yeah, default range is 3x3. I said by 5x5, but I did actually mean 3x3. And at the moment, I see no real need to make this any larger than it is. In fact, I could probably move that back here. Because I don't need that much rubber, and this is going to be constantly producing it. So do bear that in mind when you think of a rubber farm. Normally, most of my series, I have a rubber farm that is probably, I don't know, 8 or 10 tall kind of rubber trees, and yeah, that's just not needed. So that small block should do just fine. Let's see how many it's done so far. Rubber. 214. I now had like nearly none. The reason why it's 214 rubber and not resin is because I put this extractor that I had upstairs here, and it's just got a couple of very, very simple things here. It's got a supply logistics pipe with sticky resin infinite mode, so it's just going to send every bit of resin this way. And on this is just a regular Extractor Mark III module. It's got some overclockers, but it should hardly ever need them. And that will make sure we have enough rubber. So things like even advanced electronic circuits, copper cables, gold cables, you name it. You actually tend to use a lot of it with IC2. And I keep getting more and more spaces here to fill in with other stuff, which I don't have any matching blocks. Never mind. So yeah, we can go on from there. So that's a rubber tree farm, rubber block farm sorted. Anyway, do we have any more of... I'll put an emerald upgrade in the actual rubber section because otherwise it's just going to massively overflow. That's something to keep an eye on in this stage of the game, by the way, if you aren't already aware of it. If I look in here, when the quarry overflows and you don't have anything automatic processing, like starting to happen with these air-infused stone, they are in the storage drawer system, but because I don't have enough storage assigned to them, they're overflowing into the default route. Similarly for a few other things. Ooh, overclocker upgrade. Piece of candy. We'll take that. And no, nothing else overflowing at the moment, so we're fine. I just need to look to see how much steel we've got. Oh, this is taking a while. I should have made a lot more steel. If you're watching this and you don't have a lot of steel already, go and make some. I had like 500 in the system or something like that, 400, and I'd have almost none left. So, yeah, there's that. Just a quick thing I mentioned in a previous video. I wanted to shorten some of the paths on the network. So, let's get on with that one. I think I need the soldering station. Where did I put that one? And I can't remember whether it needs power or not, so let's just put it there. And I'm going to need some recipes. It's called... What's the name of the item? Logistics item card, I think. Yep. We haven't used this before, so let's actually... In fact, I can't even shift click that because I'm going to need to order the stuff manually. So 2 blank modules, 2 iron chipsets, ender pearl. So ender pearl, iron chipsets times 2. Blank module, and I think it also requires a iron ingot. Let's grab those. The chipset will be a minute to come back through, but I'll just place this while it actually gets done. 2, and I need my piece of iron. There we go. And that's going to be a minute. While it's going on, let's go and look at... I need to order some hardened glass, I think. What's the recipe for fuel rods again? Because I've just got enough steel to actually finish it off. The fuel rods is hardened glass, so I'm going to need 6 for every fuel rod, so it's going to be 120 hardened glass. May as well get that beam made. And thankfully I have enough. Let's grab you. And you get 2. You get 2 because they link to each other. They're like, I guess they're kind of like cards in AE2, if you're used to seeing that one. Same kind of thing, but a simpler system. We're going to need some connector pipes as well. These ones we can order this way. Oops, wrong. I wish this had sync with an EI. I wonder if that's an option. Let me know if you know about that. Logistics. Yeah, there we go. So you need 2 of those also, which should not take very long considering they are very basic stuff. Just need ender pearls. There we go. And while we're at it, we're going to need some more basic stuff. So let's just order 10 of those. Going to need a supply logistics pipe, which it doesn't know how to create yet. So let's scrap 2 of those actually. Supplier logistics pipes, and we want it with lapis. So let's order a couple of those up. You're missing 1 glass. Great. Let's just get some sand and we get some glass. That's so typical. In fact, let's go and do the rest while that is actually serving. Let's go and put things together. In fact, this is going to be very fast indeed because I've got 18 overclocker upgrades in there. So let's just order this now. It's faster than I thought it would be, so... in fact, that's already selected. Yeah, 2 supply logistics pipes. Got some basic ones and some unrouted. There we go. Throw some of this away. I think that's enough. Let's go and see if that will work. So, first of all, we want to go down to this end and head in here, pop down. And look here, you'll see I've got a few different ender chests. This one supplies uranium, that's going to go to the other reactor. This one supplies uranium, which has never got an excess because we got a processing system. And this one is going to be a connection. So let's first of all put you on here. Nice thing. And we're going to use one of the cards on you. Well, hopefully use one of the cards on you. Do I have to put both cards down first? Where's my... connection card? Yeah, let's go and put the other one down and hopefully they will then sync up. I'm not sure what that UI does just yet because I haven't done this before. Let's go and put the other one down. Back here. So instead of a long cable run, we should be able to get this working. We are going to need power though. For the network, that is. Remember, the logistics pipe network is probably going to need power. Where's my... yeah, there we go. So, put you down here. And then, I wonder... will this work if I just put this here? What else do I need? Where's my hammer? That's a screen. Okay. And we want to have a supplier pipe. Did I forget to bring the supply pipes? I did. That's annoying. Let's just pop up there. And grab the pipes. Basic. There we go. That makes more sense. And in here again. And let's put our supply pipe. We want one there. And we want one on top of that, which is a little bit harder to get to. Although I'm not too... don't quite like that that's there. Hopefully this will work, but we'll see. Request, we're going to want these to supply plates. I just want to see whether everything will connect first of all. Let's just get... no, we need just unrooted, I think. I don't think we need anything special. Do we have to go and save the other side as well? It's probable. Let's go and take a look. Where's my hammer again? Well, this side is actually saying, well, it does look like it's connected. So I think it's just power on the other side. Do I need to do anything specific for power? I forget how I actually did it for the main base. I think it's shouldn't be something terribly specific there. Yeah, it was just pipes, wasn't it? Basic logistics pipes. And power junctions. Did I put a basic one next to the power? Well, you'd expect that to be able to connect, and it does look like it's connecting, so... Oh well, let's just put a basic one in, see if that'll work. Ah, there we go. And everything's online. So yeah, unrouted or unrouted. And even these won't seem to connect to the power junction. Fair enough, we can do it another way. So now this is all connected. Well, that's annoying. How am I going to get the thing to there? Oh, this is going to be horrible. I'm really sorry, but this kind of does work. It's just horrible. So yeah, what I will do then is set these up to then supply so basically iron plates to here, just by putting them in there, and iron and copper plates to here. And then this system is self-renewing then. The only thing left, well, self-renewing, apart from uranium, everything else should be set up to autocraft at that point, so all pretty good. Now we need to go and look down at our big reactor. We need to convert these across, so I'm going to need, unfortunately, I should have used the teleporter. I'm going to need to use this, I think. I'm not sure if the RTG pellets are hot, as in radioactive, but I don't want to take a chance. Yes, let's just grab you. And head down here, and hopefully we can make fuel rods then. It's going to slow this entire system down, but I don't mind too much. Even if I have to come back, it's not a big deal. Let's just put this in place. So it's pretty much like this. And this should make 20 fuel rods, hopefully. Yeah. Off camera. So here they are in place. We've got basically 4 lots. I did say I was going to do a cross, slightly different design this time. The last time I did one, I did a cross, but this is just a cross with the middle missing, if you like. So Just 4 pieces like that, and then we've got 1 gap space all around the outside or the inside of the reactor. On top of those, you're going to need to put control rods, and hopefully I've got them all, like this, and they'll form the top surface. And then before we put the rest of the pieces in, we're going to need the coolant, which I'm going to need to figure out just how much I'm going to need. I don't think the corners matter, but even if they didn't, we may as well fill it in. So it's going to be 5, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. I think it's 21. 21 blocks, or rather buckets, of jelly cryothium. Now, normally I use Enderium for reactors, but jelly cryothium is a little different, and I think we've made it before, so I shouldn't bore you with too much of it. Let's see if there's any in the system. This is the stuff we need, the cryothium dust. I've only got 2 of it, though. I'm going to need quite a bit more. And you basically melt that in a smeltery, and then you drain it out into some kind of tank. So we just need... Got plenty of this. Blizz powder is the one I normally don't have, which just needs snowballs with redstone, which is fine, straightforward. Snowballs again, straightforward, and niter or saltpeter. Nope. And saltpeter, nope. But we can use that workaround with, I think, is it with sandstone or something like that, where you can get it back. Saltpeter or is it? There is a way to get this back back out. Saltpeter ore. Do we have any ore? No. Okay, we can get it back out. I will sort it out off camera and come back. Yep, in the end it was sandstone. You put it through a pulverizer and you get niter, which you can make, use the sand to turn back into sandstone and go around in a circle, etc. So we got jelly cryothium, and it's faster, by the way. You can do it in a smeltery, but it's faster to do it by far in a magma crucible, so just bear that in mind. And I don't have enough to do all the squares, but I can skip the corners because the radiation only goes this way and this way. So let's give this a try, and don't fall in. Oh, jelly cryothium is going to... Oh, that's annoying. Wow, I'm going to need a lot of it. I was expecting it to stay there. Oh, it does. Oh, no, it doesn't. Oh. Well, that's going to be annoying. Okay, I'm going to need a production line, and I'm going to probably need to do this next episode. Just because it's going to take up so much jelly cryothium, and I just do not have enough available. But I can put this first layer on. It's going to drop down. This is why I probably use Enderium. It's got to be said. At the end of the day. And is it 3 here? Oh, I've already put those down. It'll be very hard to put one in the middle like this. Just put a block there. And yeah, we should be pretty much done. So yeah, I'm going to need to probably layer it up so that actually is full. So yeah, I'm going to leave that till the next episode. It's going to take a bit of time to actually do. I was hoping to complete it this episode, but you know, we can just put the rest of these things in. The reactor access ports we can put in the corners because we don't actually need to put coolant there, or we shouldn't need to. The power tap we can put wherever we want, again, probably in a corner. And the reactor controller in the final corner like that. And then we just fill in the rest with coolant and away we go. So look out for that next episode. We're going to run out of time this episode to complete that. And can I spot the one that I probably haven't put in? I'll probably have to look at the video afterwards. I've missed a spot somewhere, I think. But no biggie. We'll sort it out next episode. So, hope you like this episode. We've got a big reactor nearly up and running. We've got our iridium ore continuing to pile in. Scenarium being produced. Yeah, there's another one. We've got 7 left to go. We've got the reactors now hooked up to the system by this neat little extension, going via shared inventory systems. And yeah, I think it's been a good episode overall. If you got any comments, any suggestions, feel free to provide them. If you like this episode, feel free to put a thumbs up, or otherwise thumbs down, but please let me know. Use the comment system. Otherwise, if you want to subscribe, feel free to, or just follow me on Twitter, either way, to get updates. And then that's at Greatester. Thanks for watching.